Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I'm not doing any unboxing, but I thought I'll try and educate any newcomers to the art of collecting diecast collectibles. I'm a big fan, as you can see. I'm a big fan of all things diecast. I focus mainly on these, the most popular scale, 1/64, but I also collect diecast motorbikes, diecast action figures, diecast trucks, diecast buses, and diecast fire trucks, and of course diecast planes. That's my favorite airplane model, the famous Boeing 747-400. I know they've been retired now, but I've been a fan ever since they've been flying in the skies. Okay, so today's video is just pretty much talking about all things diecast, the history, origin. Then I'm going to move on to some brands, or the various brands now. I keep saying in my videos, guys, this is a collector's era. The technology, the number of brands, the number of options is just outstanding and amazing. There's a whole bunch of brands out there these days, not just your basic Hot Wheels and Matchbox, but there's pretty much way too many brands out there. So look at the history, origin, brands, and then I'm going to try and close it off with different scales that are available for collectors. So this is pretty much more like for your new beginners, your newcomers, your novices, as well as the seasoned collector as well, who's been collecting for years, like myself. And by no means, guys, I'm an expert, but I'm just quite passionate about collecting. It's a hobby for me, and I've refined my hobby as well. It used to be more about quantity in the past, but now it's more like quality. And for me, as the years progress, I'm more into detailing, the replication of the actual model itself and the scale and the beauty of it. So not so much of just collecting every single thing out there, but just picking and choosing the best ones. So stick around. I'll try and go through some basics of diecast, and then we're going to move on to the most common, popular, and various brands available. I don't have every single brand under the sun in my collection, but I think I've got at least, I wouldn't say 50%, but probably even 30 to 40% of brands. So I'll put them out on the table. I'll show you each one individually, and I'm going to focus more on Hot Wheels because that's the most common, popular diecast brand out there, thanks to Mattel. So sit tight, relax, and I really hope you guys enjoy this informative and from one diecast enthusiast to all of the diecast collectors around the world. All right, guys, starting off this video is my beautiful hobby of collecting 1:64 scale cars, which means the cars being shrunk 64 times. So was this model to be magnified 64 times, you would get the actual 1:1 scale real life model. So the process of die casting is where they use different dyes like colors and stuff, paint schemes. They create a mold using CAD, computer-aided design, or in this present generation, it's more with 3D modeling and 3D scanning. That's what brands like Mini GT, Tarmac Works, Inno64 use. And no wonder their models are like the exact replicas of the actual model. Hot Wheels is catching up, but not so much with the basics. They do better models or releases with their premiums, like your Boulevards, your Car Cultures, and your Pop Culture. But back in the days, I think diecast has been around for more than 100 years, or even 150 years, like 150 years, like back in the 18th century. And then it became prominent and widespread in the early 19th century. If I'm correct from my research and my interest in Hot Wheels and diecast cars and vehicles, I think Hot Wheels started in 1968. And prior to that, Matchbox started in 1952. But that's coming up next anyway. So what they do is they create a mold of a car and then pretty much use different metals. And the most common ones are the ones available like zinc, copper, aluminium, magnesium, lead, pewter, and even tin-based alloys. So what they do is they make a mixture or a molten liquid mixture of all those metals. And I think the most popular ones are zinc, aluminium, magnesium, and copper. Hence, you've got the Hot Wheels Zamac version, or Zamac. So they pretty much create a mold, pour the molten lava, and that's what you get when you do it. Just the outside metal frame, and in some cases chassis. Then they go on and add the interior, which is plastic seats and dashboard. They add some plastic as the windscreen, side windows and rear window. And then they start fixing the bottom or the base, the chassis, and then press it with these rivets. And then they also add wheels to the chassis. And then you get this beautiful replica. So it's a bit of a process, die casting, and obviously it's done on a large scale. I really wish I could visit the Mattel's Hot Wheels factory. I think 2 or 3 hours from Kuala Lumpur city center, but I missed out, but maybe one day. So they just do them on a large scale where they've got all these machines trying to press and attach and compress these rivets to cars or the molds or the die-cast molds. Then they go through painting and stuff, and yeah, finally into the blister packaging, or depending on the manufacturer, they go into various sorts of packaging. One thing to keep in mind, guys, doesn't matter what brand it is, American, European, or Asian, they are all manufactured in China, at least majority of them. So that's the die-cast car. That's how they come into being, from a simple concept to the actual replica of a real-life car. The one I have in my hands, guys, is a majorette Mercedes-Benz 190e Evolution, one of my favorite Mercedes-Benz cars. So yeah, I collect cars, I collect fire truck. I'm a big fan of all service vehicles. I've got a decent sized collection of Greenlight collectible service vehicles because they do some pretty good models and cars. Then I've also got different scales. Like that's probably a 187 scale, like a HO scale, but that's for model railway. They've got O scale, N scale, and HO. But I don't want to get into that because I just want to try and stick to the topic. It's about all things diecast today. So that's I'm hoping it's a Kenworth or a Peterbilt. It's one of the Safeway trucks with a trailer. This one's a Safeway Plus petrol, so that's probably like a 187 scale. And then I also collect construction vehicles. Like I've got the Tonka dump truck. It's a beautifully made, Tonka's a quite popular brand as well, but they mostly deal with construction vehicles like your excavators, your backhoes, your dump trucks, your cement trucks, cement mixer trucks. And then I also like these tractors. If you happy to shell out more money, guys, these can be purchased in various scales, much bigger and way more detailed. But I'm just quite happy to own this little 1/64 scale masterpiece. So yeah, then I also collect trucks. I've got the Mini GT Shelby American truck there. You guys can see it. Then I've also got a FedEx Perker truck, and these are 1/64 scale, guys. So if you put a 1/64 car right next to it, that's pretty much a real life comparison of the size wise. So yeah, so I do trucks. Then I also like die-cast buses. The most popular scale with the buses is a 176. That's a double-decker bus. But then the other most popular one when it comes to die-cast buses is a 1:110 scale. That's a Hong Kong bus. They pretty much not really imitate or replicate, but because it was a former British colony, you see a lot of double-decker buses in the UK, especially in London. So Hong Kong kind of incorporated a double-decker buses into their public transport system as well, and they've got amazing liveries, and yeah, just outstanding buses, guys. Then yeah, so I think it's pretty much 1:110 scale, and then 1:76 are the most popular models when it comes to diecast buses to all the bus collectors out there. Okay, let's move on. I also collect bikes, racing bikes. I'm a big fan of those. This one's a Honda. Then I also collect trucks, a few different scales like the ones I showed you, 164, both the Mini GT and the FedEx are 164, and this one I think is 132, 1:32 scale. That's an Optimus Prime before he transforms into the leader truck. I've actually got the Optimus Prime in all metal alloy. And this is a beauty, guys, because I've also got the plastic version of it from the 80s. I've got the 50th anniversary, but this one is an all-metal Optimus Prime. So pretty much every single part is die-cast metal, from the feet, knees, legs, chest. They've got a few plastic bits here and there, but it's pretty much all metal, guys. And last but not least, guys, I collect die-cast planes, and the most popular scales in the planes is 1:400, pretty detailed, and 1:500. But if you want to up your scale and the price, I would definitely recommend this 1:200. There's a few brands out there, Gemini Jets, Herpa Wings, but one of my favorites is this In-Flight 200. They do pretty detailed models, and they've got different aircraft, Airbus, Boeing and whatnot, but I just prefer the Boeing 747. Let me see if I can get the plane out to give you guys a brief look. Just hang tight, guys. There you go, guys. That's the plane out of the box and the packaging. It's just a magnificent, fantastic release and model from In-Flight 200, 1:200 scale. So you magnify this baby 200 times and you get the exact original scale Boeing 747. Pretty detailed. If you look at the engines as well, they've got blades in them. If you blow air, they actually rotate or turn around. And then let me zoom out a little bit. There you go. It's got rubber wheels, landing gear. It's pretty heavy, guys. I think it's about 1.2 kilos if I'm correct. I paid a fair bit of money for the postage because it's so heavy. I've got about 6 models: Qantas, KLM, Lufthansa, United, Singapore, and I think I've got I don't know if it's Air New Zealand or Thai, but any which way. So that's the model, guys. Whoa, it's pretty heavy. So once again, the most popular scales in die-cast planes is 1:200, 1:400, and then also 1:500. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic in our diecast, all things diecast video, is the different brands of cars available in the market, and we can just probably look at them one by one. Alright guys, I'm going to start off with Hot Wheels. The most popular, famous, with collectors and kids alike, and easily available and price-wise very reasonably priced, to help all the collectors and kids alike to have a bit of fun, guys. That's what I started off with growing up as a kid. That's one of my first Hot Wheels, a 1979 Peterbilt Shell oil tanker or gas tanker. I spruced it up a little bit. I've colored the ladder black. I put some blinkers and tail lights. Yeah. And I did go back and have a look at my collection, guys, of planes. I was wrong about the Thai or Air New Zealand. I've actually got 6 1:200 scale planes from In-Flight 200, and that was your Lufthansa, your KLM, your Singapore Airlines, Qantas, and Korean Air. So that was, sorry guys, yeah, Singapore Airlines, Qantas, United, KLM, Korean Air, and Lufthansa. All right, let's go back to Hot Wheels. These are manufactured by a brand called Mattel, based in the US. And there was also a competitor brand back in the days, 1952 if I'm correct, Matchbox, and that was based in the UK. But Hot Wheels bought Matchbox in 97, and now it's become a one big gigantic die-cast car manufacturer. So with Hot Wheels, you get them in these basics. You find them in grocery stores, supermarkets, toy shops. Then they also come in premiums, and the most common ones are the Boulevard, Car Culture, and Pop Culture. And Hot Wheels Pet, or Mattel's Pet, is the Fast and Furious. They have literally released so many series, guys, so many different models, guys, thanks to the famous Fast and Furious franchise. I think they're up to the 10th movie in the series, or 11th. I lost count, to be honest. So yeah, that's like Hot Wheels Pet. Every other month there's a new 5-pack out. And then you've also got the Car Culture with the Chase. You don't get a Chase in the Pop Culture or the Boulevard, but you get a Chase with the Car Culture series. They also do semi-premium. When I say semi-premium, not all cars have a metal chassis. They do mostly 164. They've also got motorcycles as well. I don't think that's an accurate 164. Maybe it is. And then they do a team transport with a hauler and a car. They also started doing 143 scales. They do 5-packs. Some countries have 2-packs, 3-packs. I've seen them in Malaysia. They also do 10-packs and 20. There was a one-off, or maybe pretty limited edition 50-pack as well. They do a 2-pack of premium cars. I love this as well. Then you've also got Elite 64, a bit expensive, but well detailed, well made. And then they've got these premium sets with a hauler and 3 cars. Expensive, but well detailed, guys. So I've only got 1 or 2 of these. Okay, let's start looking at some history of Hot Wheels, guys. So once again, guys, Hot Wheels was started in 1968 by Mattel, an American toy company, and was by a gentleman named Elliot Handler. And like I said earlier, they didn't really have a lot of competition, but then they had Matchbox to deal with, based in the UK. And they normally do die-cast cars, track sets, play sets. Like I said, different series and releases. I can probably go through one by one, but that's just pretty much a basic Hot Wheels, guys. Economical, some are pretty detailed, some aren't. Like that one's got headlights and golden rims, 5-spoke, but no tail lights or anything else, and just a plastic chassis base. And these are mostly made in Malaysia, but if you look at the history of Hot Wheels, they are still made in Indonesia, some in Thailand, like all your premiums, the Boulevards and stuff, then also Vietnam. And at one stage they were being manufactured in India and China as well. So that's the basic Hot Wheels. Then if you move on to the premiums, well, let's go to the semi-premiums first. You see this famous Hot Wheels Fast and Furious, like I said earlier, that's like Mattel's pet. They've also got villains in this series. This is like a tribute to Brian O'Connor, who unfortunately passed away. So you've got your Mitsubishi Eclipse, and these are semi-premium, slightly more expensive than your basic mainline release. And then a Toyota Supra, the most famous Nissan Skyline, another Toyota Supra, and a Ford Escort. And if you notice, guys, they always come in a series of 5 or set of 5. So that's the first one, 1 of 5. Then I've got the Supra, 2 of 5. Then I've got the Skyline, 3 of 5. Then I've got the Ford Escort, 4 of 5. And then I've got the Toyota Supra again, 5 of 5. It's a pity the actor Paul Walker passed away, but his legacy obviously continues through the movies and stuff. And yeah, some amazing high-octane chases and cars that they've shown through the years. But yeah, R.I.P. Paul. And then you've also got another bike set, motorbikes that Hot Wheels do from time to time. They're all, they're not really in sequence, but they're all numbered as well, 1 to 5. So you've got a Ducati Scrambler, Honda Monkey, a Bad Badger or Bagger, a BMW, another BMW R. One's a K, one's an R. Okay. Then I'll go back to the main lines, guys, before I jump into the premiums. So they pretty much do basics, semi-premiums, premiums, probably highly detailed premium, and the premium sets. Then the 2 sets, premium, basic mainline 5-pack, 10-pack, 20-pack, and 50-pack. Scales 143, 1:18. But the most popular one is the basic mainline. And these ones come out like, I don't know how many cases, guys. I'm not quite familiar with the alphabetical order, but they start off with A case and go all the way up to, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, probably P or Q. And then they do skip a few alphabets in the middle. I've never seen an I case. I've never seen an O case. I've seen an A, B, C, D. I've seen a H case. I've seen a Q case. So yeah, any which way. And then if you look at the side, it says Hot Wheels on the 90s. That's actually a JDM, guys, which stands for Japanese Domestic Market. So all these cars were actually manufactured for the Japanese domestic market, but thanks to movies like the Fast and Furious and other movies where they've portrayed and showcased these beautiful masterpieces from Japan, your Toyota Supras, your Mitsubishi Lancers, your Nissan Skylines, your Nissan Zs, and all of the Japanese brands. So now they've become very popular all around the world. They're very expensive because they're all like spruced up and modified to be more powerful, a lot faster, and so on and so forth. So this one is a Hot Wheels, the 90s. So they're focusing on 90s and these sort of packaging or these sort of series titles. And if you want to hang tight before I move on to the premiums, I've gone through and did my research and done a bit of a list up for you guys. I'll just read them out to make you aware of what sort of series these basics get released, the main lines. So just give me a moment while I tidy up this set over here. Okay, just give me a moment, guys. Okay, guys, one thing I forgot to mention was these basic main lines, they get released in long cards and short cards. Just give me a moment. I might just go and try and find a short card for you guys because I'm pretty sure I've got that as well in my collection. So just give me a moment, guys. Okay, found one for you. That's the Hiroda Mercury or Merc. So that's the short card. You normally find these in grocery stores and a few hobby shops, but this is the more popular one. Size-wise, pretty much half of what the long card looks like. But one thing I don't like about the short cards is you cannot save the artwork. Whereas this one, if you're a collector like me, and I'm doing a bit of artwork for my background, I prefer the long cards. Because it's hard to get this out and just put a small piece, but with this one, you can just get the whole thing from top to bottom. Any which way, back to the mainline series that are available through Hot Wheels, year in, year out. There is Dream Garage, Screen Time, Batman, Metro series. There's a thing called Red Edition, guys. It's like for Target exclusive and mostly in the US. Then they've got the EV for the electric vehicles. They've got art cars, X Racers, Factory Fresh, First Response, Hot Trucks, Let's Race, Ride-Ons, Rod Squad, J Imports, Celebration Racers, 70s versus 90s, Safari Mode, Modified, Dirt Series, Track Aces, Compact Kings, Fast Foodie, Reverse Rake, Exotics, Race Day, Xperry Motors, Then and Now, Muscle Mania, Moto, Wagons, Wild Wide Body, Peak Pursuit, Track Champs, Fast Transit, Green Speed, Extreme Sports, Roadsters, Megabyte, Turbo, Tuned, Quarter Mile Heroes, the 90s, like this one here, the 90s, Vans, Rolling Metal, the 80s, Brick Rides, Sweet Rides, Haulers, Sky Show, Surfs Up, Retro Racers, 55 Race Team, Sports, Drag Strip, Mud Studs, Gassers, Rescue, Baja Blazers, Slammed, Nissan, Speed Graphics, Flames, Dino Riders, Space, Volkswagen, Super Chromes, Speed Blur, Night Burners, Game Over, and Street Beasts. I only hope and pray I've covered every single series out there, guys. I'm tired already reading out those to you. But yeah, that's my research, guys. That's all pretty much all the series that Hot Wheels have been releasing year in, year out for the last 50 odd years. Then also another thing to mention with the main lines, they've got a couple of things called Treasure Hunt or Super Treasure Hunt. With the Treasure Hunt is just the basic spruced up version of a regular car. I'm not a big fan at all of those because they're really hard to find. People actually go day in, day out, morning and night. I've seen videos on YouTube where they actually camp outside the stores to get their hands on these treasure hunts and super treasure hunts. It's just a slightly spruced up model. They give you real rider tires, rubber tires, but the chassis is still plastic and the detailing is no better than what it is. So I don't know what the fuss is about collecting a super treasure hunt. Slightly different color scheme. Probably I can say better, but I'm not really a big fan to go and start chasing them up. They basic main lines, $1.20 at Walmart or $2 in Australia, but those super treasure hunts can go for like 100 to 150. So I don't know what the craze is all about. I wouldn't bother with those. So yeah. So we got the series covered. We've got the long card, short card covered. We got super treasure hunt covered. I'm moving on to the premiums now, guys. And like I said, they come in 1-pack, 2-pack, 3-pack, 5-pack, 10-pack, 20-pack, and 50-pack. With the premiums as well, they've got the twin set. These are really beautiful, guys. Very modestly priced. So they're pretty much two premium cars put together as a set. Then you get the 5-pack. This is the famous Hot Wheels Formula 1 5-pack release. Then they do a team transport where they give you a car and a hauler. I've got a few of these as well, but it's hard to keep up and catch up and get your hands on everything, guys. So I've just limited myself to 5 or 6 train transport sets. Then I've got only one. No, I've actually got. No, I was wrong. I've got 4 of these, I think, 143 scales. I've got the Corvette. I've got the Lamborghini Countach, the white one, and this one. Pricey, expensive. So, and to be honest, guys, for all the collectors out there who are just beginning, my advice and recommendation is to stick with one scale. Makes your life easier, and also depending on the space you have at home. I've got a massive showcase that I have. So I've got 180 scales like these ones here. And I've also got a few other scales that I'm gonna get to at the end of the video, or that's the next part in the video. But for now, I'm just looking at the various diecast brands. I'm started off with Hot Wheels, and I got my hands on this one as well. Pretty decent model, 64 scale, but removable parts, and then just a beautiful color scheme. But still no plastic headlights. They're still painted, and the same thing with the taillights too, because Mini GT gives you plastic headlights and plastic taillights. So yeah, and then they've got this diorama kind of set thingy. This is a BMW set. They give you a hauler, a Euro Motorsport, and they've got the M2, M5, and M3 BMWs. Okay, and then moving on to the premiums, guys. That's Hot Wheels release as well, Boulevard. They do a set of 5 cars in these ones. Pretty well detailed, not amazing like Mini GT, but obviously they're a lot cheaper than Mini GT or Tarmac Works. But yeah, they do the job for the average collector. And the other one famous with Hot Wheels is their car culture. They do pretty good releases too. That's a SUV kind of set or off-road set. They've done a chase of this because they only do it with car culture series. So the chase is pretty much always black. Then the other popular one with Hot Wheels is their pop culture. They do a lot of fancy cars, vehicles, cartoon series vehicles, Hollywood ride vehicles. I've got a few pop culture, like even comics based as well. Pretty similarly detailed to your boulevards and car culture with the metal chassis, rubber tires and everything, and way better graphics than a basic release. So yeah, so that's pretty much boulevard, car culture, and pop culture. Then like I said earlier, that's Hot Wheels Pet. They've been milking the cow with this one thanks to the Fast and Furious movie series. Detailed JDM Nissan Skyline BNR 32 R32. That's probably the second or third release in the last year or so. I've got 2 variants. And then in the car culture alone, not the pop culture and boulevard, in car culture alone, they do a chase, like I mentioned with the Toyota Land Cruiser. And that's what a chase looks like. It's just a blackened version of one of the main releases. So the same thing, metal chassis, rubber tires and everything, but just complete black. And they're normally the same price as the main release, but if you don't get your hands on them soon, you end up paying a fortune for them. And once again, like I said, I don't see what the deal is, guys. There was an earlier chase in one of the previous sets, was a Lamborghini Countach, no side mirrors, just solid metal body and solid metal chassis with rubber tires. Detailing pretty decent. And if you look at the chase, the black one that was going for like 50 to 100, I think now it's more than a year old, over a year old. So now they're going for like 180 or 170. I really don't know what the go is or the fuss is. I bought myself a Mini GT black Lamborghini Countach, side mirrors, much better detailing, headlights are plastic, taillights are plastic, metal base chassis, rubber wheels, and looks impeccable, guys. So I'm not really a big fan of these chase versions, guys. Just a waste of money for me personally, to be honest. But I know there's a lot of collectors out there who go overboard and all over the place looking for them. So that's pretty much One thing I don't have, guys, I have purchased one, but hopefully I'll get my hands on it soon. It's a Hot Wheels RLC Redline Collectors or Club, and they do that on Mattel.com. Like all the memberships that come through or members who come through and sign up for it, they get their hands on this highly detailed version and beautiful color scheme, like metallic and electroplating colors, guys. Some amazing models out there. I've only always liked one. I like the Lamborghini as well, the old one, Countach blue, but I've purchased a BMW 1993 M3 model. It's still the same thing, just amazing graphics. There's no plastic headlights or taillights, but the detailing was pretty schmick. And I think it's got opening doors as well. Hopefully I'll pick it up in the next week or two. I always go to this Diecast convention, guys, once every 3 months. So whatever I don't find in the stores or whatever I'm hunting, I always get my hands over there. They've also got something called the NFT Garage, non-fungible tokens, part of that cryptocurrency stuff. And they've got some amazing models for those as well, pretty spruced up and good looking models. And then they've also got these Hot Wheels convention cars. If you look online or even YouTube, like they've got these Hot Wheels events going around different parts of the world, mostly the US. And then they've got those limited edition cars out there, but they give it away to fans, or it's there for fans to purchase when they go to these events. Very expensive, very pricey, and pretty decently detailed, guys, but I wouldn't pay $500 for a Hot Wheels car, guys. Doesn't matter how detailed it is, because they still don't add mirrors to the Nissan Skyline. The side mirrors, they still don't bother with the plastic headlights or taillights. So for me, it's just a waste of money, because nowadays there's so many brands coming out of the woods. I'll show you guys in a sec. And that literally has like the exact replication of the actual model. Whereas Hot Wheels comes only that close to it. That's pretty much it. Once again, the most popular scale with Hot Wheels is the 1/64. It's kind of funny though, because when you put this next to a 1/64 Greenlight Collectibles or Tarmac Works or Mini GT, it looks a tad smaller, but I'm sure they're pretty similar. And like I said, 143 is another scale that Hot Wheels tends to release these days, but sadly with the pricing, they're not very popular. And I got my hands on these two 1:18 scales Hot Wheels. I picked it up for like $10 in Walmart about 15 years ago. Full metal base, metal chassis, the wheels rotate, or sorry, turn, and the doors open. The bonnet, or the boot in this case, opens up as well. And if you want to have a look at the engine, you can do that too. So pretty detailed, guys, but it's interesting how Hot Wheels prefers to stick with its most famous scale. 1:64, and the other 1:18. I've also got the old 1989 Batmobile from Hot Wheels, but I really like this release, guys. There's a couple other brands that have done them, like Hot Toys in different scales, but for price and the sheer beauty of it, that's just a fantastic model, guys. It's the Tumbler from the 2005 Batman series. I've seen that in Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and I'm pretty sure I've seen that in The Dark Knight Rises as well. So this was released as a Hot Wheels Batman trilogy model, the Tumbler that Christian Bale drives around at nights. Okay, guys, let's move on to the next famous brand, Matchbox. Guys, before I move on to Matchbox, like I said, I just remembered I forgot to show you the way Hot Wheels come to the stores before they get displayed. That's a mainline case, guys. I think comes in about 15 cases every year, and each case has about 72 pieces. And if I'm correct, please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, guys. That's a H case. This is not from this year. I think it's a year old. And they have about 72 cars in them. And that's the basic main lines. And the list of series that I read out earlier in the video was the one on the sides here. Hot Wheels Screen Time series, Hot Wheels Then and Now, Hot Wheels Compact Kings, Hot Wheels Muscle Mania, and Hot Wheels Art Cars. So they come in, this is just my own cars, guys, that I've used as a box that I've been given from a friend. So pretty much, and I've also looked up the cases, guys. I want to try and keep this video like comprehensive and complete. So apparently they come in cases from A to H. They omit I and O because apparently they resemble 1 and 0, and then they continue off from J all the way to Q. So all the cases that get released every year through Hot Wheels for the basics are cases A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, and Q. So you won't see a R case, S case, T case, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z, and you won't see the I and O. So that was for the basics. If you move on to the premiums, they come in this sort of packaging, and it's the same for your boulevards, car cultures, and pop culture cars. And I think slightly bigger box for the Hot Wheels monster trucks. I'm not a big fan of those. My son Karsten is, but yeah, this is also not the exact manufacturer's box. I bought this online, and they've given me a mixture of these. I've got some boulevards, an old set from last year. Let me just see what's in there. Oh, and Fast and Furious that I bought. So I'll just put them side to side just to give you guys a little sneak peek kind of thing. So Boulevards was... And this is how they come, guys. I might just do one by one because there's not enough room. And that was the yellow Porsche. So that's the Boulevards 5-piece set, various models, various European, American releases, Japanese releases all put together, German in this case as well. So yeah, that's what they come in, a little smaller box when compared to the mainline release. And then I also had the Fast and Furious. I'll put them up as well just so you guys can get an idea. And that's the Fast and Furious from the previous year, guys. Nissan's Alfa Romeo, Mustang, and BMW. So I totally forgot to show you guys the boxing and the packaging, the way Hot Wheels end up at stores in boxes. So that was the mainline's basics, as well as the premium Car Culture Boulevard and Pop Culture series. All right, now we can move on to Matchbox, guys. I'm gonna do the most common and popular brands, a bit of history and introduction or whatever, or the origin. But for the other Chinese and majority of the brands that I've collected the last couple of years or over the years, I just can't be bothered doing every single one of them because I'll be here for like a whole day or at least 3 hours. I actually wanted to try and get this video done in 1 hour. So let's see how we go, guys. I can always go over 1 hour if I need to. But let's move on to Matchbox now. All right, guys, moving on to Matchbox. My next favorite brand. I kind of like these more than Hot Wheels because 9 out of 10, they're well detailed. Not like a premium Mini GT or Tarmac Works detailing wise, but it's pretty decent when you compare with a basic Hot Wheels release. And the origin, when I researched, was it started off in 1952 by a gentleman named Jack Odell in the UK. Apparently his daughter's school only allowed toys that fit into a Matchbox, and that's how Matchbox was introduced. It was apparently introduced by Lesney Products in 1953. Leslie Smith and Rodney Smith turned out to be Lesney Products. So he had to try and fit a toy in a Matchbox, and that's how the little 1/64 scale Matchbox cars came into being, because they would fit into a little tiny Matchbox. And to try and continue the legacy, they still fit them in this little box over here that probably resembles like an old 50-year-old Matchbox back in the days. But yeah, so that's pretty much the introduction for Matchbox, guys. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, Hot Wheels or Mattel bought them over in 1997, and now it's an American Mattel brand release. And these Mattel decided to keep them simple. They come in two packages. One's the blister pack long card. They could be a shortcut. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't got a single short card Matchbox car, but they could be out there maybe for different geographic locations and releases. Then they've got the typical Matchbox that fits into a Matchbox size packaging. You've got the blister packaging, carded one. That's what I meant about the detailing, guys. Grill, logo, headlights, fog lights, nice decent police livery, tail lights compared to a Hot Wheels release. And then they also come in packs. I've got a 5-pack, but I couldn't find it, so I just brought my 9-pack out. They come in 5 and 9 packs. They also come in what you call moving parts. These are not normally your doors, your hoods, or your bonnets, and decently detailed as well. A little bit pricier compared to your mainline, but yeah. And the more expensive one is the Matchbox collector releases. They do a decent sort of justice to the car in a 1:64 scale. And I haven't seen Matchbox releasing their cars in any other scales, guys. 1/64 seems to be the norm. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. I know there's Matchbox collectors like a premium range, or way expensive than your basic collector's releases, but detailing wise still the same. High-end graphics or impact printing. There's no such thing as plastic headlights or taillights. So yeah, that's Matchbox, guys, my second favorite brand. When I was a kid and I was growing up with these 4 main brands that I only knew, I'm pretty sure there were other numerous brands out there, but I only came to know Hot Wheels, Matchbox, the German Siku, and the French Majorette. So I'll just do a little brief thingy about Siku and Majorette too. And before moving on to those, Matchbox does a series every year. And like I said, Mattel decided to keep it limited or pretty strict strategies. They've only got series like Road Trip, Metro, Adventure, Indiana Jones, Showroom, Harry Potter, City, Rescue, Construction, Highway, Jungle, Coastal, Countryside, and then they've also got a Super Chase in the main lines, guys. We've talked about moving parts. They've also got working rigs, and they've also got convoys. I've only got one in the convoy range. It's not a true 1/64 scale, but similar size fire truck with an ambulance as well. Then they've also got this 50th Super Fast series as well. I've got a couple of those, but I just couldn't find them when I was digging through my collection to make the video. So that's for another day when I probably do the unboxing of them. And like I said, mostly only 1/64 scale, and I've only seen them in 5-packs and 9-packs. But like I said, it's a big world out there and too many shops across Europe, Asia, and America. So they could be 2-packs, 3-packs, 20-packs, but I've only seen them in 5 and 9-packs. So I'm going to move on to Seiko, and then Majorette, and then look at the other popular brands for the last 5 or 10 years. Found a Matchbox rig, guys. I've also got a fire truck in this series, pretty beautiful. Yeah, I forgot to show you with the other Matchbox that I had before. So moving on is Seiko, German diecast company. Pretty good releases. Not really premium range, but since they've got a decent graphic detailing, they're a bit pricey. So yeah, but they're always detailed. So this one started off or founded in 1949 by a company called Sieper in Germany, and apparently Seiko stands for Sieper Kunststoff. So they've taken the SI from Sieper and KU from Kunststoff, and that's how Sieper came into being. And from my memory and my collecting, I've only seen them in 1/64 scale, but these guys are pretty vast. They do construction vehicles, buses, airplanes, helicopters, choppers, sports cars, service vehicles. They pretty much cover everything. I quite like them, but ever since I started collecting mini GTs and tarmac works, I've kind of like slowed down on these and other ones. I mainly focus on detailing and the exact replication of the models. So, all right, let's move on to my next favorite brand, Majorette. And these guys are pretty cool. Famous French brand, and they come in a Matchbox size packaging, but they've got a bit of display so you can see the actual model inside. And they also come in carded forms, and they come in like racing cars or Porsche edition, and they do service vehicles as well and muscle cars. They also do premium cars, a Lamborghini, and a vintage car, Lamborghini Countach. Okay, Majorette, guys, apparently started in 1964 in France and became the largest model car manufacturer in France. And the same thing with these guys. They mostly focus on 1:64 releases, and I've got a fair few of these. The first Majorette I had was a black limousine. I think it was a Lincoln Continental. So yeah, I'm gonna move on to the other brands now. Next brand I like, guys, is a Greenlight Collectibles brand. They're pretty good, always highly detailed. And they do a lot of Hollywood rides, service vehicles, muscle cars. I think they also do NASCAR. They pay tribute to a lot of movies. I love the famous Bullet Mustang, and these guys tend to replicate them really well. Sometimes you might find the odd plastic headlights or taillights, but they're always well painted. This one's got plastic. Pretty decent color schemes, liveries, siren lights, a license plate, metal chassis. A bit pricey compared to, say, Hot Wheels or Matchbox or Seiko Majorette, but for the detailing, I guess, guys, you can probably still get them. And I'm a big fan of service vehicles, so I've got a fair bit of Greenlight Collectibles police releases. And looking at the brief history, apparently it started in 2002 in Indianapolis, Indiana, by a gentleman named Kevin Davey. They predominantly focus on 1/64, but I've also got a 1/24 scale NYPD police car, and I've got a 1:18 scale Bullet Mustang, a tribute to Steve McQueen and the famous 1968 Bullet movie. So they pretty much mainly do 1/64, but they also do 1/24 and 1:18. And the next one that I like in the brands is Auto World. These guys are pretty cool, but a bit disappointing because If you look at the photo, they've got the side mirrors, but the actual car itself, they don't bother with them. I don't know why, and that's a popular decision with Hot Wheels as well. If it's not a premium, it's a hit and miss. Some cars have got the side mirrors, some don't. So beautiful model, don't get me wrong. Expensive and metal chassis, quite detailed. It's only got painting, no plastic taillights. It's got a nice license plate. Exhaust look pretty cool in chrome. The front grille, the racing stripes. It's probably got an opening hood. So yeah, and this one was founded by Oscar Kovlevsky in 1958 in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And they mostly do 1/64, but I think there's the odd 1:18 scale as well. And see how they write true 1:64, because some people complain Hot Wheels are not exactly 1/64, but it's pretty close to it. But yeah, each to their own, guys. Next one that I like and did a bit of research was Johnny Lightning. Apparently this was launched in 1969 by Topper Corporation from the Topper Toys brand. And they normally do what Autoworld do, like cardboard packaging with pretty decent printing, impact painting and stuff. But they also do blister packaging. And I had to get this one, being a Bruce Lee fan. It's from the Green Hornet series, the limited couple of seasons or whatever that Bruce Lee was in as Kato, the Green Hornet sidekick. And that's a beautiful 1966 Imperial Crown custom that was modified to be one of those spy vehicles in the series. Missiles come out of the front and there's some sort of firing power. Look at the green headlights as well. I don't know if you can see them clearly. But yeah, full on solid body, metal chassis, and overall amazing releases, guys. Moving on, guys. In the last couple of years or so, this has become one of my favorite brands, and I'm pretty sure you guys know why. That's a Mini GT, guys. Parent company is TSM, True Scale Miniatures. They do a lot of other scale releases, but Mini GT mostly sticks with 1:64. They do a lot of European cars, Mustangs, trucks with trailers and stuff, limited edition sets, and they come in two packages. One's the Matchbox style boxed one. The other one is a blister pack. I got my hands on this Thunderball Aston Martin DB5. Pretty detailed, guys. You will never be disappointed. Always plastic taillights, plastic headlights, license plates, metal or chrome bumpers and exhausts. You always find side mirrors too, but for some strange reason they always use rubber ones, not metal. So the whole body is metal, the casting and stuff, but when it comes to side mirrors, it's always rubber. So, and Mini GT started apparently in 2017. Like I mentioned, parent company is TSM, True Scale Miniatures. And same thing, mainly focus on 1:64 when it comes to Mini GT, but TSM does other scales as well. Moving on, I'm going to show you guys Tarmac Works and Inno64, and then a whole lot of brands. Okay guys, moving on, next one, one of my favorite brands that I've been collecting is Tarmac Works. They do a lot of justice and are true to their craft and dedication. They do amazing replicas of a lot of cars. I've got more Mini GTs, probably about 50 of those. I only got about 10 or 12 Tarmac Works because there's only so much you can have and display, so I'm being very strict with myself when it comes to collecting stuff, guys. And no time to look at the car inside and unboxing and stuff. Like I said, it's just purely an informative and educative video. And Tarmac Works' origin history was founded in 2014 by model enthusiasts based in Hong Kong. They mainly focus on 1:64 scale. They come in box as well as blister packaging, and they also do trucks aside from cars. I haven't got a Tarmac Works truck, but I've got a Mini GT. If you probably remember from the start of the video, yeah, pretty cool, guys. I absolutely love these models. Makes you want to start collecting all over again, because for the last 20 years that I've been collecting, it was mostly Hot Wheels and Matchbox, but now with so many beautiful brands out there, it's like a never-ending story. My other favorite brand, and the last one that I'm going to do a brief introduction, origin history, is Inno64. My assumption is it's a short for Innovative 64, but these guys are pretty cool as well. Highly detailed guys. I highly recommend these guys. If you can't afford to buy every single release out there, just get one or two. Like I've only got a handful of these as well. Probably about 5 or 6 at the most, but I'm not disappointed at all and no regrets. Look at the beautiful purple color scheme. Hong Kong Toy Car Salon 2023 special edition. White 5-spoke rims. It's a Nissan Skyline R33 Nismo 400R. Plastic headlights. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yep, and then plastic tail lights. Look at the little mini exhaust, guys. Fully metal. Metal chassis as well. Expensive compared to your regular mainline basics, but pretty much on the same lines like your Mini GTs and Tarmac Works. A brief history or introduction was founded in 2017, and they focus primarily on Japanese cars, JDMs, and mostly 1/64, but I heard they also do the odd 1:18 scale, which is called Inno 18. That's pretty much it, guys, for origins and introductions about my favorite brands. And now I'm just going to put a whole lot of brands that are coming out from China, mainland China. Just look at each one of them for the next couple of minutes or so on each brand. I'm not going to bother with the introduction or the origin and stuff because I'll be here forever otherwise. So just bear with me while I line them up all on the table and we can have a look at them one by one. Okay, guys, are you guys ready now? From the basic 4, Matchbox, Majorette, Seiko, and Hot Wheels. Now we've got Street Weapon, X-Car Toys, Para 64, M2, Era Car, DCM, ING, Focal Horizon, Seeker, Rhino Model, Almost Real, Scale Mini, Pouty, 596 models, King Model, Era Car, Master Diecast, CM Models, ING, Bibaragos, some more DCMs, M2, JKM Diecast, Mazda. So yeah, there's just no end, guys. I'll just do a brief look at each one of them. You probably heard most of them these days. They're on eBay, Amazon, AliExpress, Alibaba, where else, whatnot, I don't know. But I also forgot to mention the famous Japanese brand, guys, Tomica. They do basics, pretty average, but I like the premiums, decently detailed. And finally, once we go through these brands, I can show you the different scales available out there for people to collect. So just give me a moment. I'll just start showing you one by one. I'm just going to move out the Mini GT and the ones we spoke about in detail and depth. Matchbox out, Majorette out, Seiko out, Greenlight Collectibles out, Auto World can go, Johnny Lightning can go. Okay, some of the other good brands, guys, before we move on to these random releases from China. Let me just get some more stuff out that we've already covered. That's another collaboration with Mini GT and Kaido House. They do a lot of wide body releases. I got my hands on this beautiful red BMW of burgundy wine color. pretty well detailed with opening hood and engine. Like I said, no time to go through every single one of them. I'll just go quickly one by one. One of my other favorites too. Solid metal, well detailed metal chassis. Look at the wheels, guys, on a vintage Mercury. And the bonnet or the hood pops up as well. It's a 1954 Mercury. Okay, and M2s come in that boxed display case and also on blister cards packaging. Another nicely detailed model, but not all cars have plastic headlights or taillights, but still I recommend collecting these. Okay, let's look at these brands now. I might just finish off with the Tomica as well and the Biburagos. Okay guys, that's the Tomica one that I mentioned, the Japanese release. Quite popular in Japan and all over the world. But if you go for these basics, they're as good as Hot Wheels. But these guys always have their side mirrors and stuff and decent detailing. But I highly recommend getting the premiums. Tomica Premium. I've got a Ferrari Testarossa. Nicely detailed. But if you want to spend some more money, I would highly recommend getting your hands on Tomica Neo Vintage. They are like true to scale detail, guys. Amazing detailing, but expensive. More expensive than a Mini GT. Don't understand why, but yeah. Biburagos, I got a Formula 1 164 scale. I thought this was good, but you gotta, guys, you have to wait till you see Mini GT 164 Formula 1. That's an exact replica, guys, when it comes to livery design, the scaling and everything else. Just beautiful. And these guys have picked up the game as well. They used to be pretty basic, but now they're starting to do a bit of justice to the detailing. I've opened that to check for any defects, so I can probably do a quick show of it. There you go, guys. Way better than a Hot Wheels basic, but yeah, pretty neat. Headlights, taillights. Okay, so that was the Biburagos. I'm just going to quickly move on. The other popular brand at the moment is X-Car Toys out of mainland China. These guys are doing pretty well. Decently priced and well detailed, but they really kicked off with their X-Car Toys Pop Race releases. They're doing a fantastic job, guys, on Porsches, JDMs, Skylines, you name it. They're doing a top-notch job when it comes to releases. The other one that's quite economical but still detailed is this Chinese JKM brand. I've got a Hummer H2 of it and a few other models. I've actually got quite a few models, guys. Pretty detailed for the scale and pretty economical, like I said. Based out of China, 164 scale. Look at that, guys. Can you ever imagine this amount of detailing even on a premium, Hot Wheels release? Nah. Guys, in no way, shape or form I'm trying to belittle or put Hot Wheels down, because I've been collecting them since I was a kid. But once again, collector's era makes you want to start collecting. So this one's JKM, Jackie Kim Diecast out of mainland China. Pretty good brand and model. And I think now they're calling themselves Mazdi from JKM. Similar one is a 64. Pretty decently detailed models. You just can't take your eyes off them, guys, when you start shopping around. Then there's the European Schuko. I've got this BMW M3, beautiful green color scheme, 164 scale. Then you've got the Australian Biante, pretty detailed, guys, for a 164 scale. Rim, spokes, spoiler, interior is pretty detailed. Let me see if I can get it out of the box for a quick look. Look at that, guys. That's 164. Wow, that's beautiful. Grille, fog lights, headlights, Ford logo, side mirrors with chrome, metal chassis, chrome exhaust, plastic taillights, Ford logo, rear spoiler. That's what I like, guys. Any day, the more detail, the better. Other one that stands out for me is JCD brand. It's called Gain Corp Products. Reminds me of the RoboCop movie, OCP, Omni Consumer Products. So these guys are pretty cool. This is a Toyota Alphard or Alphard. Quite heavy, amazing packaging, and pretty true to scale detailing, guys. Look at that. Everything's plastic and chrome, and look at the metal chassis with the exhaust and the axle. Awesome, guys. Okay, quickly moving on. You've got Jada pink slips doing some JDMs in European cars and American cars. I picked up this Skyline GT3 GTR Nismo. Nicely detailed with some opening parts. Then Inno 64, they've also got Para 64 or Para 64. Got a decent Mercedes-Benz model. 1:64 scale. Quite nicely detailed. Another popular one that I really like is CM model. Expensive, but look at that green color scheme, guys. Electroplating. Okay. Another one that really stood out for me was this Roland brand coming out of China. These guys take diecast detailing to the next level, guys. I thought Greenlight Collectibles was good, but this guy's is an excellent release. Everything about the car is a beautiful replication of the exact model, the actual model. I don't know if you guys can see it with the reflection, but there's a license plate, Ford logo, beautifully centered and designed. There's mud guards, there's a bull bar, nice siren lights. There's a couple of scanners or thingies at the back on the boot. Beautiful NYPD State Trooper livery. But these guys are expensive, guys, so I've got about 6-7 of these. What's the other one that is good? This one is pretty good. ING. They do a lot of Rolls-Royce models. I've got the Phantom Ghost and a limousine kind of Rolls-Royce. Pretty detailed. Look at the grille and the logo on top, guys. Nice chrome rims too on that one. Then you've got, oh, we already checked the Inno 64. Then you've got stuff like Rhino model. Pretty decently detailed. I don't know how many of these brands you guys have heard of or collect, but I've been doing it for the last 2 or 3 years. That's a Dodge Hellcat SRT, a brand called Stance Hunters. Pretty neatly detailed. It's all plastic and metal. Then there's Hobby Japan. That's a Toyota Land Cruiser. Then you've got Tiny HK. I'm assuming it's coming out of Hong Kong. Beautifully detailed, guys. I've got a BMW M5 Hong Kong traffic police car. Pretty neat. Then that's another famous brand. They try and replicate them really well. It's called Almost Real AR box. And this one, I know I said I'm not gonna take them out of the packaging, but you guys have to see this, guys. It is just simply beautiful. Look at that. Chrome accents all across the car. Sunroof, BMW logo. Look at the chrome grille, headlights, fog lights, side mirrors, chrome on the side mirrors, plastic tail lights. I've actually got 1:64 scale license plates that I bought online. I might try and stick them up when I do the unboxing video. Metal chassis, metal base. Pretty neatly designed rims as well. So yeah, they're literally not leaving anything for the imagination, guys. Okay, moving on. That's another JKM diecast, guys. If you look at Hot Wheels Fast and Furious release, this is way better. Plastic and metal incorporated together to make an outstanding model. I'm not going to open it up. That's another popular brand, Carrarama. It's a smaller scale, 1:72. But they've got some pretty cool releases. Then you've got another popular brand online, Time Micro. That's a Mitsubishi Lancer police car. Nicely detailed and priced. Then you've got another era car. That's a Mercedes-Benz G63 AMG 6x6. It's like a pickup truck, only better looking. And there's brands like King Model. Don't ask me where these brands started off from, guys, but they're all from China. But the beauty about these guys, you never see this in any of the other brands, like in such highly detailed version, not even Mini GT. If you look at the chrome accents, they've got the Mercedes-Benz logo, metal one. I don't know if you guys can see it properly. Chrome accents, grille is chrome. I don't know, 15-spoke rims are chrome. Look at the exhaust chrome, plastic tail lights, just awesome, guys. Then I've got this brand called Seeker. I missed out on a similar release for Mini GT, a black Mercedes-Benz 190e Evolution. But luckily I managed to get my hands on these. I've got silver, black, and white. Look at the Mercedes logo. Rims, very identical to the Mini GT release, guys. Then another Oxford, smaller scale, 1:76, a vintage model. And then you've got 596. They do a lot of service vehicles and other models as well. That's a Washington, D.C. police car, Ford Interceptor. Then I forgot to mention, guys, this is a diecast video, but they also do resin now. That's a resin model, slightly heavier and pretty detailed. But I paid a fair bit of money for this, guys, because of the detailing and the being resin as well. And it's a brand called Scale Mini that I never heard of before. And then you have Pouty. I don't know where this one rocked up from, but it's available. They do a few releases, diecast. Yeah, Pouty, guys. Then there's Welly, but these guys mostly do 1:43 scales. That's a Lamborghini Countach. Pretty reasonable. I think only about $5 if you want to pick him up. Then moving on is Master Diecast. These guys are pretty good. They do excellent replicas of famous cars. That's a Hummer H2 police car, guys. Yeah, I hope you guys can see it well. Yep. And last few models is Focal Horizon. Anyone heard of that? So that's just Nissan Skyline, but with a opening hood. It's a GTR R33. Excellently detailed, guys. I had to open it up and check for any defects before I give feedback to the sellers. And you can open the hood, and the engine's fairly detailed too, guys. You can see the brake pads, and even the interior is a bit detailed too. But never heard of it, but I like the model, so I bought it. Last couple of brands: a Street Warrior. I've got a Rolls-Royce Phantom 7 1:64 scale. Look at the detailing, guys. To be honest, I don't care about the brand names anymore. It's all about detailing for me as a collector. So I had to get this when I had my eyes on it. I was like, nah, it's got to be in my collection, in my showcase, guys. Excellently detailed, guys. Street Warrior. And check out these two, guys. I showed you the pop culture version of this. Look at this one. Side mirrors, highly detailed graphics, way better graphics than Hot Wheels Premium. Plastic headlights, rubber tires, 5-spoke rims, rear spoiler, plastic taillights, chrome exhaust. Just absolutely fantastic, guys. Just love it. And they've also got, look at this one, guys, a gunmetal Nissan Skyline R34. It's a pure black grayish gunmetal release, guys. Pristine models, guys. So I don't really care about the model names anymore. As long as any brand out there popping out of the woods can produce and manufacture models like these, guys. One last time, guys, it's a collector's era. If you are a collector who's just about to start, or a seasoned collector, there's just way too many options now, and brands available, guys. Simply superb. Okay, the last two are this DCM brand. I had to get this Mustang from the 90s and early 2000s. A pristine finish. Look at that, guys. The Mustang logo, those two chrome accents, fog lights, plastic headlights, beautiful 6-spoke rims, plastic taillights, and chrome exhaust. And last but not least, guys, the BMW. This one's a E38 7 Series, which was manufactured between 1998 and 2001. It's pretty decent, highly detailed, guys. Look at the spokes on the rim. Chrome front with the beautiful BMW logo, detailed. Plastic headlights, nice fog lights, nice limo stretch kind of feel. And look at that, guys, plastic tail lights, BMW logo. I might just pop a 1:64 scale license plate to it, European one, and the chrome exhaust. So guys, thanks for your patience. Let's move on to the last part. It's gonna be the different scales diecast cars are made. So that was this little sneak peek at all the brands we looked at today. So hang tight. Let's finish the video off and wrap up the video with some different diecast scales available out there. Alright guys, we're at the end of our video, diecast video. Like I said, I'm trying to make it quite informative and an educational video. We've done the history and origin of the most popular diecast brands. We've had a look at all sorts of various brands coming out of all parts of the world for collectors to collect. And now we're at the end of the video. Like I mentioned, just trying to cover different scales and sizes that diecast cars are produced for collectors to collect. I've collected various scales over the years, but I predominantly and mostly prefer to stick to a couple of scales. So in my collection, hopefully one day I'll show you my showcase. My collection, I just pretty much only focus on a couple of scales. Like you can see, the 1:18 LAPD police car, 124, but it's mostly 1:18 and 1:64. I've got 3 of those here: a Lamborghini Countach by Mini GT, a Dodge Charger by Auto World, and a Ferrari Enzo by Bibarago. So I'll have a quick look at them, and then I'll tell you what size and scale each model is on the table. The biggest I've got in my collection is a remote control that I picked up at Costco, a Formula One Ferrari model, and that's a scale 1:10. Second biggest in my collection is a 1:12 Nissan Silvia S15. I'll give you a brief look at that as well. But once again, I always only collect 1:18 and 1:64, guys. There's a few other scales or models in between, but I've got the most common ones. I think there's also 1:16 if I'm correct, and 1:14, but I've only got 1:12 and 1:10 as the last ones that I have in my collection. So I'll just do a quick check of these for you guys to get an idea, and we can wrap this video up. That's the smallest I have in my collection. It's probably I don't know what scale it is. It's a Ferrari F40. There's also another brand called Micro Machines, guys. They're nice and tiny, a micro version of cars. Not really famous or popular models, but just basic shaped cars and construction car vehicles and stuff. Then I've got this, these are probably 1:72 or 1:76. I've got a Batmobile. That's the smallest, or one of the smallest in my collection. And you got the famous 1:87 scale or HO scale for model railways and dioramas. So that's a Mercedes-Benz. Look at the detailing on a 1:87, guys. License plate, grille, plastic headlights, side mirrors, tail lights, license plate. This is beautiful, guys, for a 1:87 scale. Moving on, the most popular one around the world and many collectors is a 1:64. That's a Lamborghini Countach released by Mini GT. Metal chassis, rubber tires, rims, and I've painted the exhaust chrome because it was just black. Plastic tail lights. So that's the world famous 1:64, guys. I'm just assuming because you can have hundreds of these and still fit them all in one showcase. So this has become the norm around the world with collectors. They always prefer to collect 1:64 scale more than any other scale. But if you're really into detailing, because the bigger the scale, the more detailing you'll notice. I'll show you the 1:18, highly detailed. Another 1:64. Dodge Charger SRT. Then the Ferrari Enzo by B. Baragos. And then I've got an NYPD police car with opening doors. Like I said, guys, bigger the scale or size, the more features, well detailed and well produced cars. This one's a 1:42 scale. And the next one I have is a Lamborghini vintage Countach. And this one is 1:43 scale. I've picked up this Mustang from Toys R Us. Opening doors, a beautiful color scheme, well detailed. And this one is a 1:38 scale, so slightly bigger. I've got another Ford Mustang police car with opening doors. And this one is a 1:38 scale. So they're pretty much doing a whole lot of different scales and releases, guys. I've got this Skin Smart brand. Oh, this one's a Maisto, sorry. Corvette 1:39 scale with opening doors and beautiful blue color scheme and detailing. Let's move to this side a little bit. Okay. I've got another Ford Mustang. Opening doors. This one is a Maisto as well. 1:40. I've got a Lamborghini Centenario, a police car. This one's a 1:32, and this one's got opening doors as well. Pretty neatly detailed. I love service vehicles, guys. Police cars and everything. And the next one is a Dodge Charger. 1:32, guys. Dodge Charger SRT with the beautiful siren lights on top. The hood and the bonnet open up, and the boot opens up as well. And so do all the doors. Look at that, guys. Even the wheels can turn, and that's only 1:32 scale. It's not even a 124. But absolutely beautiful, guys. Let's put it back. And then I've got another 1:32, if I'm correct. Nissan. It is, yep. Nissan GTR BNR 34. The one that Paul Walker drives in Fast and Furious. It's got opening boot, chrome exhaust, plastic taillights, license plate with the Skyline GTR logo. Blinkers, it's got opening bonnet as well. And if you can notice, there's a little metal spoke that actually helps you keep the bonnet left open, and the doors open as well. So once again, guys, bigger the scale, greater is the detailing, and no disappointments whatsoever. Okay, moving on. 1:24. I love this scale as well. Just a beautiful Highland green for a Mustang. Grille, logo, plastic headlights, blinkers, fog lights, plastic tail lights, chrome exhaust. Well finished, guys. And one of my other favorites, apart from 1:64, is 1:18, guys. This is the most expensive model in my collection. It's a 1:18 Auto Art LAPD Ford Crown Victoria, and this is a masterpiece, guys. I was in total awe when I received this through post. Just look at that finishing, guys. When it comes to detailing, this is one of the best scales out there. If you open the boot, you'll see a shotgun, some more ammunition, a spare wheel, tire, all the four doors open, front wheels rotate. Then let me see. Yep. That's the engine, guys. Look at the detailing, guys. It's being a 1:18 scale. Highly detailed, guys, and all the four doors open. I'm trying not to damage anything. And look at the interior, guys. They've got a little glove box. Dashboard's decently detailed. And the same thing on the other side. You can open the other two doors as well. Yeah, guys, so that's the famous 1:18 with a lot of collectors. And moving on to the last two, guys. That's quite heavy. A lot heavier than I thought. Okay. Okay, guys, I bought this because it just looked magnificent. And I got this like 15-20 years ago. The Nissans became quite famous thanks to the Fast and Furious cars. And this one's full metal, but it's got plastic interior. And look at the seats, the floor, the extra subwoofers in the back, nitrous oxide cylinders, more speakers at the back. I hope you guys can see the cylinders in the rear seat. The boot doesn't open, but it's got a nice rear spoiler. From the front, it's got Recaro on it. Some Chinese characters or Japanese kanji. Imagination come true. You can open the see-through bonnet and you can see the exhaust, the battery, the engine, the boost exhaust or filter or fan intake. Just awesome, guys. Pricey, but yeah, when you're young, you just want to collect a whole lot of stuff. So that's my 1:12 scale, guys. And last but not least is the 1:10 Formula One that I picked up from Costco. It's pretty huge and amazingly detailed for a hard plastic release. So yeah, I had to get it being a Formula One fan, mostly for the cars and the racing itself. So that's the cars and the scales we looked at, guys. So I really want to thank you guys for your patience on this diecast journey with me. I hope you've enjoyed watching it, picked up a new thing or two through the entire video. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed as much as I did making this video. It's been a painstaking journey. It took me more than an hour to cover all the three aspects, but like I said, from one hobby enthusiast to the other hobby enthusiast around the world. Once again, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for your patience. Stay blessed. God bless you all, and I'll see you in my next video.